Let's resume. So we'll now proceed to our open forum. Uh, any question from the members? Sige, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Chair Anyala. Um, just a couple of questions, more clarificatory. So I asked this a while ago, but when sometimes we're able to use the term green-gray infrastructure interchangeably with nature-based solutions, provided it meets all three requirements, right? Um, the follow-up for that would be, how can you measure the effect of nature-based solutions? Like, um, is there a way? I mean, while we're waiting for the natural capital accounting (IRR) to be well, if implemented, um, is there is there guidance already on how to measure the effect of the nature-based solution as well as its effectivity? And then when you're measuring effect and effectivity, are you looking at it over space and time? I mean, is that part of the metric? And if so, I'd be grateful for guidance on that.
Thank you very much, Kang Ana, for the question. So yes, maybe for the benefit of others lang po, no, when we talk about NBS, it's not only green, it's not only, it has to be mangroves, it has to be forest. So there can also be infrastructure. Actually, many of the examples that exist of effective NBS are gray-green. I think hybrid or gray-green, madalas po yan dun sa mangrove areas. For example, we restore and enrich mangroves, but at the same time, we can build, let's say, seawalls or dikes to support the influx of water. So it will really depend on the design and the need of that ecosystem. In terms of measurement, there are, yung nabanggit ko po kanina, the IUCN to do NBS because it requires too much. Yun yung parang may pushback minsan kasi, paano yan magagawa ng communities? Ang dami-daming requirement, may 8 criteria, multiple indicators. So what we learned from IUCN is you don't have to say, I've achieved all 8 to be able to say it's an NBS. You can start you can start basic, simple, achieve the 3 elements at a very general level. And then as you learn, then you can improve, you can enhance. The NBS has to be designed at scale. So that's the other thing we need to remember. It has to match the need and capacity of that area, of that organization, that community. If it's too hard, if it's too complex, then that means one of the criterion is not met. So kailangan siyang i-design at the whether we're talking in terms of timeline, in terms of how big, how long, has to match the specific scale po. So yung measurement, I think yes, it has to be measured over time and over space, but the specifics will depend on the particular NBS.
Thank you. Another quick question, because sometimes it comes up in the case of the Blue Economy Bill. For area, for example, that has to be reclaimed or that's already been reclaimed, if you try to, if we were to try to make sure that nature-based solutions are integrated in that reclamation, for example, making sure that a retention basin is included in the reclamation to address the flooding issues that it presumably tried to that the reclamation presumably tried to address. How do we measure the integrity of that solution? I mean, I don't know if you could also enlighten us on the indicators.
I have the standards in front of me, but it's quite long. Um, sige po. Let's look. Baka po mas mahaba yung sagot kong Ana. I can probably share with you some of this later, but yung mga nabanggit ko po, no, na when we talk about NBS, one of the criterion is NBS must result in a net gain to biodiversity and ecosystem integrity. So NBS design and implementation must avoid undermining the integrity of the system and instead proactively seek to enhance the functionality and connectivity of the ecosystem to ensure long-term resilience and durability of the NBS. But the indicators po there are four, but maybe I don't know if we should go into each one right now. So first, kailangan may evidence-based assessment of the current state of the ecosystem. Clear and measurable biodiversity conservation outcomes are identified. Monitoring includes periodic assessments of unintended adverse consequences, and opportunities to enhance ecosystem integrity and connectivity are identified and incorporated. So I think what that tells us in general is in the design, we already have to identify the indicators that will tell us that we are resulting in an biodiversity net gain. There's no unintended negative consequences. But yes po, I can share with you this list because there's a lot and we can really tweak it depending on the need po.
Thank you so much, Attorney Aya. Also, another question still on measurement. When you and I sort of mentioned this earlier already, but in looking at an ecosystem that we are trying to the ecosystem and the ecosystem services that we're trying to preserve or protect. Is there a way to China wall, for example, or compartmentalize the various interventions and measure also the various interventions given, if only because of the funding aspect. Like, for example, when you're looking at a particular ecosystem that provides ecosystem-based services, and then part of the funding is going to be coming from non-market approaches, so grants. And then a part of the funding could also be supplemented by market approaches, so maybe carbon credits. Will it be possible to China wall, for example, the interventions, or do you think in terms of measuring the additionality, for example, or carving out the additionality of the market approach funding, do you think that's possible to do within an ecosystem, or do you think it would be safer to just look at maybe carve out or segregate different ecosystems according to the funding it's receiving? I ask this in a very theoretical way, knowing that some might be minded to invest in its protection because of funding requirements, and then others, I mean, would have a more philanthropic bent.
Just to add to what Congresswoman Anna was saying, the projects that you mentioned a while ago are actually very good projects. No, I'm just interested also to know whether there are projects right now in the Philippines funded by the government, either the national government or the local government. Because all these projects, whether funded by INGOs or private sector, the challenge actually is on sustainability. So we can reforest a particular watershed. DNR can do the reforestation, and maybe in some areas the private sector can invest. No, but if these are all done via CSR, it will not be sustainable. No, so that's why it's very important yung public-private partnership or collaboration. Kasi we have so many initiatives on the ground, and then sometimes you hear LGU saying, project yan ni WWF or ni ganito, na ganyan. So parang, when they communicate to you, parang hindi kanila yung dating. No, parang wala kaming dyan, kasi yan si ganito, ganyan. So, for these things to really last, no, and beyond our time, no, there has to be more public participation or people's participation on the ground. Not only the private sector, but more importantly, our local government units. Diba? So yun yung Just to add lang to, kasi very interesting talaga ang NBS. No? And I see the opportunity of for the private sector to really come in and invest, no, and to a certain extent share in the burden of addressing some of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time. So,
Thank you po for the questions. Tama po. Theoretically, and baka po may ibang ma-share din po yung ating colleagues from the other conservation organizations. On the first question, I don't think it's necessary na parang kung ano yung pondo, doon lang yung NBS. That seems, even hypothetically speaking, that seems counterproductive na huwag kayong maghahalo ng funding kasi kailangan dito ako magre-report. And I think there are some examples. I think yung halimbawa po yung si Ben Jaquiti Forest Park, that's blended finance. So it's not just government. Hindi po namin nahanap yung specific funders, but it in the description there is private sector, there's development assistance that came into play. But we do understand that depending on the source of funds, the measurement and the reporting will differ. So maybe that comes into clarifying what are we measuring and what does it add to. Dahil I also agree kong that we shouldn't double count the results, no, na I count this as an achievement of the government, but also I'll report it to this other funder, the private sector, or an investor as another achievement. Of course, in the long term, the outcomes all of that support will contribute to the broader outcomes in a way that's probably hard to parse out. Na, ikaw yung better oxygen, sa'yo napunta. Yung improved water quality sa kanya, ikaw dito, ganun. But I think it's possible to identify measurable indicators like reduction in CO2, hectares of forest reforested, livelihoods enhanced. So it's possible to identify indicators that can count towards which source of support. But I don't think that should dictate what projects. And actually, yun po yung mukhang kailangan talaga. The blending of the finance, also to Kong Alba's point na in many instances, lalo na when the projects are trying to scale up, one source of finance is not enough. So the more that we can say na, okay, government support can do this much, maybe capacity building, maybe enabling environment, policies, and then now investment will come in to help augment. Many of the good examples that we've seen are more of that blended approach. And it, in a way, you have no choice but to work together na more stakeholders. So there's probably a way to design it po so that the measurement will go to, because that does matter when we talk about financing. Dun sa sustainability, there might be po in terms of local government